There was a man from the tribe of Dan who lived in the town of Zorah, and his wife wanted a baby all her life, but he could not make one for her. So angel of God came down from the sky and he said, "This is your day. We see you've been unable to conceive, but a baby is on its way. Hey, while this baby is still in you, no alcohol, wine, or forbidden foods, and for his arrival you must prepare. He's a Nazarite, so never cut his hair." Yeah, 9 months later it happened. He came and they named him Samson. And he had the spirit of the Lord. Did things haven't been done since or before. Well, one day he was walking around town, saw a girl so bad, made him want to settle down. He went home and he told his pops, "I got to have her right now." But his mama said, "Stop! Ain't this woman a Philistine? Our country's biggest enemies. Out of all of these beautiful Israelites, why you want to go and make a pagan woman your wife?" Right. She couldn't intervene because God had something for them Philistines. See, God's people, they was real bad on her, but God was using Samson to put the smash on her. To see this young girl, he was walking. I guess he didn't see the lion stalking. He hopped out the bushes like, but to Samson, he might as well say, he grabbed him right by the throat and ripped his head off like a little baby goat. So bold and he showed no fear. Dusted off his robe, checked his fro in the mirror. Kept pushing to his lady to see, and he spoke to her and he was pleased. And he said, "Father, I think this is Rizil." His father gave him dap and he said, "Done Dizil." A little later he was heading to the wedding, took a shortcut off the path he was heading. He looked down and he saw something funny. The lion that he killed, and it was filled up with honey. 30 cats at his wedding reception. Samson said, "Listen, let me ask y'all a question. If the answer you should know, I give you 30 new outfits and 30 new robes." Yo, but if you can't figure it out, kids, I'll take 60 outfits, 30 on one, and they really didn't fear it. They looked at each other, said, "Bet, let's hear it." Look, out of the eater came something to eat. Okay. Out of the strong came something sweet. That's it? That's it. Nothing left to say. Figure it out, chumps, you got 7 whole days. 3 days later they were scratching their heads and they was going back and forth over what he said. Then guess who they saw in the middle of the night going to get some water? It was Samson's wife. One of them pulled her to the side and said, "We know that you are Samson's bride. Get the answer to the riddle by the 7 days ending, or we burning down your family's house with you in it." She went to him with tears in her eyes and he said, "Hun, why are you crying?" She said, "'Cause you don't love me a little. I'm your wife and I don't even know the answer to your riddle." He said, "Come on now, that's not fair when I have not even told the answer to my parents." She cried and he tried to console her, but she nagged and she nagged and she nagged, and he finally told her. She told them and they was like, "Oh." They went and found Samson like, "Yo, what's sweeter than honey? What's stronger than a lion?" That riddle was too easy, fam, we wasn't even trying. Samson thought to himself, "Yeah, right, you figured it out, 'cause I got a big mouth wife." So he went off to Ascalon and killed 30 men and took their belongings, paid his debt, went back to his land, and his wife went and got married to his best man. What? Samson was hot, kid, so he went off and caught 300 foxes, tied a torch to their tails and he lit. He smiled, they burnt everything to a crisp, that's wild. Burned the entire harvest. The men said, "Yo, who's responsible for all this?" Samson was very proud because his father-in-law gave away his bride, so they got a hold of the father and they took him to the field and they burned him with his daughter. Later on, after all of the fire, Samson hooked up with a woman named Delilah. She let the Philistines bribe her. What makes him weak? Find out. We'll have him tied up. Hey, we'll give you 1,100, and all the silly fighting with Samson can be done with. She thought to herself, they can cuff him and I can get the money, 'cause she really didn't love him. So she pulled Samson to the side and said, "What can you safely be tied up with?" He said, "If I was ever tied up with 7 new strings undried up, I'd be weak as a fly, love." So she said, "We got him." Waited till he fell asleep and she tied him. She hid some men in the bathroom and said, "Samson, they are here to attack you." She didn't know what to think, 'cause he hopped up and popped the strings off like blink. She cried and she said, "You're a liar. Now please tell me how you can be tied up." He said, "Okay, this time it's true. If the rope is brand new, I'll be as weak as you." She hid some men in the bathroom and said, "Samson, they are here to attack you." She put her hands on her head cause he hopped up and popped the rope like it was thread. She cried, why you telling me lies and you don't trust me or love me enough to be tied? He sighed, you want the truth, you can have it. Take 7 of my braids and add them to your fabric. And while Samson was having a dream, she put 7 of his braids in her sewing machine. The Philistines hopped out like, we got you, kid. He stood up and popped his head right out of it. And Delilah said, oh, you made me look stupid 3 times in a row. And Samson couldn't take it no more. He looked her in the eyes and said, you really want to know? Yes. The real reason that I'm so strong is directly connected to my hair being long. A Nazarite, I belong to the Lord. Cut my hair to the floor and my strength is no more. And she knew he wasn't lying, so she told the men, come back one more time. He put his head in her lap as he laid. Some dude snuck in and gave his head a shave. Now what could Samson say? He fell asleep like AI, woke up like MJ. She said the Philistines are here. He tried to break free minus the hair and the beard. But they got him to his surprise. Beat him up, chained him and gouged out his eyes. Later on they threw a real big party. They praised their gods and they said, we got him! And they started getting drunk and they said, bring him out, we ain't scared of that punk. And they brought him out too. He put his hands on the pillars that was holding up the roof. The temple was filled to capacity. 3,000 alone was on the roof just to laugh at it. He said, dear God, I know I done some silly things. I gotta die, then let me die with these Philistines. And the Spirit of God filled him and he screamed as he pulled down the beams to the building. And everybody died. He killed more than the whole time he was alive. But the story survived of Samson, the mightiest man of God.